Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to True Sound Studios. I'm Weezna. So today, guys, I could really use your help. I have been struggling to get these few issues resolved with Cakewalk by Bandlab. So I switched from Cakewalk Sonar Platinum to Cakewalk by Bandlab, hoping that, the few issues that I used to have, and they were very minor, would get even resolved and I'd have it even more stable using Bandlab's version. Unfortunately, some of the issues I'm having with Bandlab are way worse than I ever had with Cakewalk. So I'm struggling to fix these, to figure out why this is happening. So that's why I'm making this video. So guys, any help, any suggestions, please leave them down below. And then if the things you guys suggest actually work, I will actually make a video on, what I did to fix it and the results and blah, blah, blah. Okay, so here is my first issue. So the audio engine in Cakewalk by Bandlab is peaking. It's going above 100%, except my CPU processing and even the RAM is super low. So I'm using an i9. It's the fastest i9. I think it's like max 5.26 gigs per core. I have 64 gigs of DDR4 RAM. I have a 12 gig video card, and my main drive that Cakewalk is on is a PCI Express card slot. So it's, essentially the fastest hard drive slot you can also have. Okay, so here you can see at the very top, it says engine load. So you can see we're already up to 94%. This is a 13-track project. The audio processing is about 20% CPU. Yeah, it does jump up to the max in some spots. But anyway, so now we're gonna go to the ASIO panel. You can see I'm running this at buffer 512. That's really high. I mean, I've never had to run this high before. So now I switch it to 128, hit apply, and watch this. Now the engine loads up to 133. CPU is dropped to about, 15% max. So now if I go back to preferences, go back to the ASIO panel, and now switch this to 256, hit OK and apply. Now we're roughly right at that 100%. CPU has jumped up, but the system memory is about 30. So with Cakewalk Sonar Platinum, I never had the audio engine actually get to over 100%, even with, the 100, 150 track projects using tons and tons of plugins. I mean, literally 200-300 plugins sometimes. I never had this issue. And even if the audio engine was stopping, it was also because all the cores were maxed out, all the processing cores. This has been the opposite. The CPU sits at 20%, except the audio engine is at 100, 150, and it's happening multiple times a song, and I think you guys would obviously know it creates a lot of issues. Okay, so issue number 2 is when I am soloing tracks, and it doesn't happen all the time, but when I'm soloing tracks, I get these pops and clicks. Obviously, nothing is peaking. I'm literally just soloing a track, and now and I can't figure out why. I've tried and adjusted every single audio buffer. I reset all the plugins on a project, and I just can't figure it out. So check this out. So issue number 3 is, I could mix an entire song. So for example, this one that I have pulled up here, 39 tracks. I am using 7 virtual instruments, but during playback, there is no pops or clicks. I'm running at maybe 25% CPU and maybe 40% RAM. So it's definitely not high. Now, I'll play this entire song. I've been mixing it, adding plugins, subtracting, changing stuff, and there isn't a single pop and click. But then I go ahead and export it and create an audio file, a WAV file, and I have all these parts, especially in the beginning of a section where maybe all the virtual instruments stop and there's just like a vocal and guitar going on, and then all that stuff comes in. It's like, once again, I cannot figure out what's going on. I played around with all the MIDI settings. I've frozen the tracks, which sometimes helps, but also sometimes it doesn't. So this one, I'm not really sure of. I'll play you guys a little section of this. It's just listen when everything first comes in. You can hear all this going on. And then the last thing is some of the load times for some of these projects have been 5 minutes. I mean, no joke. I will just open a project I opened the day before, and it might have opened in 20 seconds before. And now it'll get stuck on a few plugins and take, a minute per plugin to load. And literally I timed it one day. It was almost 6 minutes to open this one project. Mind you, it did have like 170 plugins in it, but still, all these issues I've never had with Cakewalk Sonar Platinum. So I really don't know. Here's a little mini clip of it. Okay, so here you can see it's stuck on this effects tape, which of course is a soft tube plugin. But I love the soft tube plugins and I use a lot of them. So finally, this is the one I took 6 minutes to load. I just end up giving up. So this is like the little workaround that I do. So I start up the soft tube central, which is how you install and authorize all your plugins. So I wait till it syncs the licenses and it does its thing. You'll see up at the top there, it says processing activations, which once again, I've never had to do in Cakewalk Sonar Platinum, but now I have to do in Bandlab. So after it loads all the plugins, then I open up Cakewalk by Bandlab, choose my project, and then you can see here, kind of sped it up. This still took over a minute and a half. It's going through all the plugins, blah, 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 taking its time, deciding, yep, I'm gonna stall on this one, stall on this, do these fast, whatever. And then finally, after getting close to 2 minutes, the project finally opens. Guys, I don't know what to tell you. This stuff has been going on for quite some time, ever since I got and fully made the transition to the new computer and Cakewalk by Bandlab. Nothing has been working, and I actually went and downloaded and reinstalled Cakewalk Sonar Platinum because I feel like if I can't figure these things out, I'm gonna have to switch back. So anyways, I don't want it to sound like I'm complaining because really, I do think changes they've made are really good. Like I love the stretching feature now. It is super smooth, and there's some other like performance things that I've really noticed that I really like. But these issues are killing me. They have really been a real problem for me, and I cannot, for the life of me, can't figure it out. So guys, please leave a comment. If it's too big of a comment to write, maybe you could write it just for other people's help, but then also find me on Instagram and you can leave me some voice messages, voice memos, and we can kind of talk like that because, like I said, guys, this stuff is killing me. So any help would be so appreciated. Anyways, guys, I appreciate the help and I will see you guys in the next one.